How we going, guys? It's Liam here, and I just want to thank you so much again for purchasing the easy and simple money budget tracker. Now, this tutorial is just a short, quick tutorial on how to actually use the money budget tracker to the best of your ability. So obviously, I do have a how-to guide on here as well with annotations and images as well and explanations on what I actually do. So feel free to read through it if you don't want to hear me do a voiceover. But yeah, in total there's 3 tabs: the category tab, the bank transactions tab, and the report tab. So each tab has a purpose, and obviously the first 2 tabs will create how this report shows. So starting off with the category tab, pretty much it's a table with 3 headings: category, subcategory, and category type. So pretty much in the category you want to be as broad as possible. So for example, I put debt, and then in the subcategory you want to be more specific to what that category really is in a subcategory, which is just a loan repayment I've listed it as, and then as an expense. And I've also just done this for all my expenses and for income as well. So any, I guess, work you do, I suggest putting as fixed, putting it as salary, and then income. And if you do have any bank transfers, I suggest putting transfer, bank transfer, and as not reported, because it's something that's not leaving your account. So simply, if you don't want any of these pre-filled options that I've already put in here, what I suggest doing is, for example, if you wanted to delete at least half the table, you can drag and hover and highlight all this. And if you right click on it and you click delete and go delete rows, that will get rid of all that data. But I'm going to keep that for the purpose of this tutorial, and I'm going to add to this as well. So at the moment, as you can see, I've got personal care items. Pretty much to add these again, essentially, I'm just going to delete the rows, completely delete them. To add any more data, you always have to input from the bottom of the table. So it's a personal care item, and it is going to be shaving cream as an example, and it's an expense. There you go. And if you hit tab again, it obviously puts more data in. So I'm going to go personal care item, we're going to go toothpaste, and it's just going to be an expense as well. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to only add 2 of these. So always add from the bottom of the table. And I guess essentially once you've already added in the categories, the subcategories, and the category type on this tab, you can head all the way over to the bank transactions tab. I've already inputted dummy transactions into the bank transactions tab. These are not my real transactions, but to delete all these, I always suggest highlighting all of them but the top one, because if you delete the top one, it will stuff up the data. So obviously, again, highlight all the data you want to delete except the top one, right click on it, hit delete, and go delete rows by tables, and then you'd be able to change the first one to whatever you want it to be. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be keeping it, and I'm just going to be deleting the last 3 and re-inputting them to show you how exactly to input them into the bank transactions table. You can copy a CVS file. I would download a CVS file from your bank transactions and copy and paste them into the table, but you will have to do a bit of extra work in order to program the table itself. So for example, if you wanted to add something, again, always add from the bottom of the table. It's a transaction. This, for example, occurred on the 1st of January. And if we go salary, and it's a credit income because it's something that's being credited to our account. So all expenses in the debit column or income into the credit column, and pretty much it will calculate, I guess, a little math sum here. So all negative sums are pretty much expenses, and all positive numbers are salary or credit income. So essentially, when you click on the drop down box as shown here in the subcategory box, pretty much you want to look for salary. So I've already pretty much put that in, so you won't have to put that in yourself. So you just pretty much got to look for it in here. It is a bit challenging to find. Here we go. No, not gifts, salary. There we go. And as you can see, it will pre-fill out the category and the category type already once you program the subcategory box. So if you're pretty much copying and pasting them in, you'll have to fill out this box manually, and then the last 2 boxes will pretty much input as pretty much of what was in the category box and the category type box in the category tab. But we're going to leave it as salary. So we'll go back up and find salary. There we go. And just to show you expenses on how it goes onto the report, we're just going to add those toothpaste and shaving cream expenses in. For example, if we do, say the expense happened on the 2nd of January, we go, it was at Woolworths, and it was for $50 for shaving cream randomly. And if we go in the drop down box, we head all the way to the bottom, as you can see, shaving cream, which what we inputted before is now there. So if we click on shaving cream, it's a personal care item and it's an expense. We're going to do the same again for toothpaste, just to show you how it goes onto the report. So it's a transaction coming from our transaction account. You want to input the data occurred. Say, for example, it happened on the 3rd. I forgot my toothpaste. We go Woolworths. Let's say that was $100 miraculously. And what we're going to do again is click on that drop down box and hit on toothpaste. And now another thing is just to clear it up. So you've got an account type. So pretty much this may be different. You may have all your expenses coming from your credit account or your savings account. But for me personally, it's out of my transaction account based off of the dummy expenses. So do keep that in mind. Make sure you input what account it's coming from and obviously the date, description, I guess what the bank transaction says on your bank statements. I just suggest putting that description in so you understand what it is, and so on and so forth. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. Now, if we head all the way over to the report, what we want to do now is all that data we just inputted, if we go to data and we go refresh all, that should input all the data onto the table. Very slowly, if we go back to here and we go refresh all. Oh, there we go. I didn't even see it there. It's actually there now. I couldn't see it there before. I didn't think it'd be higher up on the actual table itself, but here we go. So personal care, toothpaste and shaving cream is now there. So pretty much all the data shows on this table. The first 3 tables are filterable by this little filter buttons here. So if you're just looking to know what you spent and got in the month of January, if you click on January, as you can see now, we earned $13,700 and we had $370 worth of expenses. And this table here break down, I guess, what our expenses were specifically for that month in the subcategory boxes here. And obviously the last 3 tables will only show a month and year pretty much figures. So if you've got multiple years, I'll show the multiple years and months in here of what you earned for that year and how much you earned for that month. So as you can see, 13,700. Then obviously it tells us here what we spend each month as well. And we've also got a net savings box. It tells us, I guess, how much we have left after the expenses are taken out of our income. So for example, we have $13,330 left over in the month of January. And also it edits up here as we filter the data too, which is pretty cool. So in the headers up here, if you go February, they edit as well once you filter the data too, which is pretty cool. To remove any filters, if you just click on the top right hand box in the actual box itself, it will bring back all the data for a yearly figure or the amount of data that you've imported for the year. So if you're looking to select multiple months, if you select the multi-select and say we want to only know the last few months, so if we just select all the boxes that we don't want, as you can see now, it's just going to show us the data for the last 6 months. We earned $19,700 and $7,700 worth of expenses, and we're netting $12,000 left over. So it's a bit of like a net worth type thing, but it's just more based off of what cash you have left over every single month. To remove, obviously, if you just deselect the multi-select and then remove the data, it will bring back everything to the table. But that's just a quick rundown of, I guess, how to, add your own data and how to get the data in. Remember, after you input the data that you want to add to the table and to have shown on the report, always hit refresh all, and all that data will automatically add itself to the table and the number figures will be added too. So if you've got any questions, guys, reach out to me on my shop or let me know down in the comment section below. But I hope this video is really helpful. If you do get stuck, also check out the guide as well. But thank you so much again for purchasing the easy and simple money budget tracker, and I hope I see you on my shop more often soon.